Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and today we are back with another dun mukbang. Woo! Okay, listen, I can't laugh. I said this in so many videos. If you guys have been watching the Rotten Mango channel, if you guys have been watching the vlogs, I got my wisdom teeth taken out. For some reason, I'm not swollen, but I'm on soft foods. Let me tell you how bad it is. This is gonna be my first official meal on camera and I don't even know if I'm gonna survive. I have been swallowing smoothies. I've been swallowing just the most overcooked chuk, you know what that is, like congee. I've been swallowing it whole. That has been my diet for the past couple of days. And today I'm like, nuclear noodles, mac and cheese. So that's what we're doing today. I have been blessed. Although I have, I'm 4 teeth down, I have been blessed by the Raycon goddesses with multiple pairs of Raycon everyday earbuds, which was necessary because I get into a bit of a panic whenever I don't have my earbuds on me. Raycon actually gifted our whole family Raycon earbuds for our wedding trip to Switzerland that's coming up, and I just want to say, we have family members that were using, you know, different earbuds, and don't get me wrong, we're not judging them. Yeah, we are. But we gave them the Raycons, and we were like, no pressure, use what you like. What do you know? Those motherforkers, they be showing up in their Raycon everyday earbuds. That's just the thing over their other ones for the same reason that I love my Raycons. Okay, so you know when you lay down and you're watching a show on Netflix and you've got your earbuds in? I hate any stem that sticks out of my ear and just bulges into the side of my head. It digs into my ear and it starts to feel so uncomfortable. If you're laying in bed watching a show, Raycon earbuds, they are so seamless. They fit perfectly into your ear. Not only are they discreet, not only are they just so freaking comfortable, the fit is incredible. I could roll around in bed, they don't fall off. They fit so well. Apparently Raycon went through countless design iterations to finally find one that seamlessly fits the curvature of the ear. If you travel, if you work out, if you roll around while watching a show, Raycons are gonna be your new best friends. They do not fall out. They're built to be sweat and water resistant, and not only that, but the best part is they sound so good. You get that crisp audio quality that's perfect for listening to music while you romanticize your life. That's perfect for listening to podcasts. They have awareness mode, noise isolation mode, which comes in handy when you're like out and about. Sometimes you want to be alert. Sometimes you want to tune it out. Even during meetings, sound quality, incredible. And it comes at half the price as other premium audio brands. Insanity. So make sure to go to buyraycon.com/biz for 15% off your order. That's buyraycon.com/biz for 15% off your order. And thank you Raycon for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into the food.
Okay, should I make the
yes.
mac and cheese?
Wait, okay, let me describe what's going on. On this side, we're gonna do dry noodles. The whole shtick of this TikTok is that you get a Shin Ramen, you get a Kraft Delight mac and cheese instant, and you mix it together, and you get this creamy, just insanely delicious ramen. So on this side, we're gonna do the original recipe. We're gonna get 2 Shin Ramens, 2 of the Kraft Deluxe mac and cheeses, mix them together. And then on this side, I thought we could get really cute with it. I'm gonna mix 2 different product noodles. I have the cheesy product noodles, and then I have the regular product noodles.
Nuclear noodle.
Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to eat spicy for a week. Here I am. And then on this side, we're gonna try maybe like 1 of these Cheetos instant mac and cheeses, and then maybe a Kraft Delight just in case, you know what I mean? So let's start mixing it up. I'm gonna start adding I haven't had cup mac and cheese in so long. And I'll tell you why, because these cups are so overpriced. You remove the whole lid and you remove the cheese pouch, okay? Remove this fake cheese pouch. Then you're left with some mac and cheese and a little bit of cheesy stuff. Fill to the water line and stir it. Microwave uncovered on high for 3.5 minutes. Let's add in the ramen. 1. I kind of, don't get mad guys, I have to overcook my ramen today. I gotta get really soft.
Oh yeah.
So while that is cooking, I'm gonna make my little mac and cheese, Cheetos mac and cheese for this side.
So that's the nuclear ramen noodle.
It's just been pre-boiled, no sauce, nothing. Okay, that's 2 packs. Wow. Okay, should I mix in the sauces?
Oh yeah, let's mix in the sauce.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah, the dentist is not gonna be happy.
Okay, the cheese powder.
Ooh. What?
So scary.
Is this spicy already?
Yeah, it's. I think I'm starting to get into the stage of.
More. Mix more.
stage of wisdom healing where I am starting to crave food.
Yeah, just one. Because it's spicy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
Smart. Does that look good?
That looks so good.
So what are we talking about today?
Oh, okay. Should we get into the story?
Yeah.
Let me paint a scene for you. I'm gonna drop you right in the middle of a wedding.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's good?
I'm so good.
I'm gonna drop you in the middle of a wedding today, and you tell me what's wrong with this wedding. You tell me. The wedding venue is this luxurious 5-star hotel. I mean, it looks like no expenses were spared. There's a Rolls Royce parked in front of the hotel. It's a Rolls Royce Phantom. Those go for like $500,000. The bride's dad drove it to the hotel as a dowry for his daughter, meaning he's gonna give it to the future husband to be like, thanks for taking my daughter off my hands. Here's a $500,000 car. Is that not kind of crazy? So these, I'm gonna start on this side, right? We got the Cheeto mac and cheese with no cheese sauce so far, but they said to add the liquid because that's what you need for the cheese sauce. And then we have the Kraft OG mac and cheese. And then now we're gonna go in with the cheese powders. This is the Cheetos cheese powder.
And this, I'll do the regular cheese powder.
Wow, that's like fluorescent. That is, that's like a highlighter.
Wow, this is something else, honey.
Wow.
I'm a little worried.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting powder and... Okay, this is looking a little bit suspicious, but maybe it'll be good, you know?
Oh, watch out,
Oh my gosh.
Watch out.
Okay, you got it.
I don't got it, honey. I'm so far away.
Okay, you know,
That's
I
true.
do it for the people at home.
God. Oh my.
Ah! It got in my hair!
What?
Please be careful!
What do you mean?
Something landed on my head.
No way. Oh, okay. This is looking good now, no?
It's looking very good.
Oh, it's a mess, truly.
It's literally a mess. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm kind of excited, actually.
Now we're gonna throw in one of the mac and cheeses.
Is it looking good or what?
It is. The cheesy is making it look so creamy. There you have it. Let's try it.
This is all the hype on TikTok, you said?
Is it spicy? Please tell me it's not spicy. I have to use a spoon. Well,
Not spicy.
I can't eat too hot either. I'm a mess.
It's different. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's good.
I gotta take some out so it can cool down.
It's good. It's like exactly what you expect. It's mac and cheese and ramen. It's like
Okay.
creamy ramen. It's good.
Okay. And is it like very soft?
Yeah, it's kind of soft.
Let me just let it cool down on my plate.
I'm excited for this one.
I'm so jealous. There's this beautiful Rolls Royce out in the front and like a flower arrangement on the hood of the car. There's matching flower pieces all over the wedding venue.
What's the flavor?
It's a little chewy. Maybe it'll get softer.
You can chew with your front teeth, no?
Let me tell you what happened. I got my wisdom teeth pulled out,
Yeah.
but I'm currently on Invisalign. My front teeth are so sore from my Invisalign trays. Everything hurts. Everything is painful. Nothing is okay. Nothing is okay inside of here. I'm gonna go get a yogurt and I'll be right back.
Okay, so Tiffany,
Yes.
since Stephanie can't eat it, it's your lucky day.
It's your lucky day. I
Oh,
put
yeah.
some coconut
Are
water.
you a fan of mac and cheese? Oh, I don't like mac and cheese, but this is good.
Honestly, this and now that it's not as hot.
Okay. Is that good?
Tell me how it is.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is it takes me way too long to chew it. So I don't want to make you guys wait the whole video.
It's good.
And also, I'm not being dramatic. It's not like that painful. I think I just have so much anxiety about getting a dry socket that I'm just extra careful with eating. Okay. No. Wrong. It's so wrong. The wedding is as fancy as it gets. Like, you get the fancy foods, you have the sit-down dinner, the Rolls Royce in the front. I mean, what more could you ask for in a crazy, all expenses paid wedding? I mean, it's insane. Now, you don't have, imagine that you're there. You don't have enough time to figure out what it is, but you just kind of, there's something about the wedding. Like, yes, the bride is beautiful. She's got this gorgeous ballroom gown. This is the wedding dress. She's got a sweetheart neckline. I mean, it's incredible. There's a tiara on her freaking head. The bride's parents are sitting on the other end of your table. So imagine you're from like the groom's side of the family. You only met the bride in passing. You've never even met her parents before. So now you're like, okay, well, we're officially family. I should probably introduce myself. You walk on over, and as soon as you walk up to the bride's parents...
I'm the groom?
No, like the groom's family member. Like, imagine you're like the groom's cousin.
Oh, okay.
The minute that you walk over, the energy is weird. Something is off. You pull up an empty seat. You sit down. You try to make conversation. Oh my God, you guys must feel so proud to have such a beautiful daughter. Were you surprised when she told you that they were getting married? You're like, okay, what's going on? You start seeing sweat come out of the bride's dad's forehead. Like, you're wondering, is this man okay? And now you're starting to get uncomfortable, but you keep trying to make this small talk. You keep trying to make it work. I mean, I was a little apprehensive at first. They're both so young, right? How old is Tina again? Like 27? This time, Tina's mom and dad, the bride's mom and dad, they look back and forth at each other. And it's like this really odd situation where they're both expecting the other person to answer the question, and they're increasingly getting nervous that the other person is not answering the question, and then ultimately, neither of them answer the question.
What's the question?
How old is your daughter?
Oh.
It's a very basic question. So what the fork is going on? So now you start feeling really uncomfortable. Why are her parents acting so strange? Sure, it's her daughter's wedding, so they're maybe anxious, emotional, but this is bizarre. They can't even remember how old their daughter is, seriously? Another relative of the bride sit down, and you're thinking, well, this should be less awkward. Because these are people that the bride's parents are comfortable with. These are the closest family members, the closest friends. But it's so weird. This new relative of Tina's does not even acknowledge Tina's parents at all. And you're like, okay. That's weird. Do you guys like not know each other? So you start thinking, okay, let me introduce myself. Maybe this is Tina's aunt, Tina's, cousin. You're like, oh, how are you related to Tina? And that person goes, oh, I'm Tina's mom.
Another mom?
Another mom. You're like, wait a minute. I thought that was Tina's mom. I'm her stepmom. Wait, so you guys are divorced and you're sitting next? I'm so confused right now. Like, what the hell is going on? Why is everyone on Tina's side of the family acting like they have no clue what's going on and that they don't even know each other? It's because they don't know each other. All the bride's guests, all 300 of the bride's family members and closest friends were all paid actors. And Tina, the bride, is one of Vietnam's most notorious con artists. She is oftentimes compared as the Anna Delvey of Vietnam.
Oh, yeah. What happened to her again?
Conned a bunch of people in New York into thinking that she was like a Russian billionaire. Her parents were like billionaires.
Yeah. She stayed at like fancy hotels, correct?
Uh-huh.
And then never paid?
Mm-hmm.
And then she went to jail? Is that right? Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to do.
What?
For our wedding, just paid a bunch of actors and actresses.
Why?
Sometimes like they want people. That's a service, right? You can hire for bridesmaids and all that.
Mm-hmm. And apparently they give really good speeches.
They give really good speeches, yeah.
Like the good ones.
I bet. A lot of practices under the belt. But that's so obvious though, no? So you're telling me from the groom side, they're real.
Groom side, all real.
Bride side, all fake.
All fake. I imagine maybe they thought everyone would mingle separately. They would just say hi and stuff, but not really get into each other. I don't know. I kind of want the two, like Tina, Dong, and I kind of want Anna to have like their own reality show when they're trying to con each other. But let's go to the beginning. It all started in a beauty salon. 27-year-old Tina walked through the beauty salon doors. The salon owner, let's call the salon owner Nancy. Nancy, the owner of the beauty salon, she liked Tina for a couple of reasons. Number one, Tina's a regular. Number two, she was obviously a very wealthy young woman. I mean, she always drove these fancy cars. She wore head-to-toe designer. Handbags were designer. She lived in a high-end apartment in the city. I mean, just hearing about Tina's life while she's sitting in that salon chair, it was exhilarating. But most importantly, the salon owner liked Tina because she was a heavy tipper. Whatever her total was, she would fork up 5 times the amount.
For tip?
Yes, for a tip.
Damn.
And she would always say, keep the change. She also invited the staff members to these fancy dinners to thank them for their amazing service. So again, very clear, she's very rich. And she's not afraid to spend her money on people. Nancy would always say that she has gold dripping out of her hair. Sometimes Tina would come in for fillers, blowouts, it didn't matter. Whatever she wanted, Nancy was willing to learn how to do it. She was the golden client, the VVIP. So Tina walks into the salon one day and she's like, I want a mole tattooed on my face. Apparently, in a lot of Asian cultures, and I know China is strong on this too, and I'm learning Vietnamese too, but I think Koreans are kind of into it, but not as intensely. At least from my personal experience. There's a whole mole theory, a mole science. The idea is every mole on your body has a meaning based on where the mole is located, what color the mole is, how prominent it is, and sometimes even if there's a hair sticking out of it or not.
Tell me, what does hair sticking out of mole mean? Huh?
It means you're extra lucky. It
Really?
means you've got a bright, furry future in front of you.
Oh my god, I used to have a...
Yeah.
There used to be a hair sticking out here.
Ah! Let me see the mole.
It's gone now, look.
Oh, you don't even have a mole.
It's very faint now.
Your mole is basically your future. Your mole and you are one. It's really wild. Like, look at this chart. The red dots on this picture show desirable mole locations. So if you want to be rich and prosperous and madly in love with someone, you gotta have these red moles. And geographically, you have to be precise. For example, a mole on your eyebrow means longevity and good fortune. It's gotta be inside your eyebrow hair. Like the inside.
Yeah.
It can't be above it, it can't be below it, because that does not mean longevity.
What does that mean?
It means f you just have a mole on your face. Walking around with a mole on your face. It doesn't even have meaning, okay? A mole around the corner of your eyes can mean luck in the relationship department. A mole around your lips means you'll never have to worry about food or clothing in your life.
That's you!
It also means that you like to eat. And it can also mean that you like to talk a lot.
No, this is too accurate. Can you show them?
I have a mole like here.
Stephanie has a mole like right here. And the description matches you perfectly.
I'm so stupid.
Oh my god.
This,
I used to
maybe.
have a mole right here.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
right here. Right under my eyes.
Oh, you have a mole right under your eye right now.
No, they
No, you have one right
removed-
here.
No, that's small. I used to have a more prominent mole here.
Well, that means luck in the relationship department. You're lucky.
No. They removed it because they say it's like bad luck. Yeah. All I smelled was K-barbecue when they did it.
Bruh. Well, you do have a mole like right here. A tiny cute little mole. Barely there. Which means you're lucky in relationships. Which means you're lucky to be with me. Which means you're the luckiest man alive. I like this. I'm a believer in mole science. Because, you know, all these moles are making sense. A mole on your cheek can mean that you're a very hard worker, that you're very goal and career driven. I mean, Tina was really into all this mole science. So she's coming into the beauty salon to get a tattoo of a face mole because she wanted it to bring her luck in her upcoming business venture. Nancy doesn't really know mole science like that. But Tina, if she asked her to polka dot her entire face with moles, she would do it because she's VVIP. So as she's tattooing Tina's little mole, she's making small talk. Tina, like, what kind of business are you starting? Like, what do you need luck with? Oh, I'm making an investment. My dad is helping me. Nancy had never met Tina's dad, but she had a vague understanding that he was like this landlord mogul. And according to Tina, he was like the richest man in all of Vietnam. So Nancy's own husband, he was pretty well off. So the salon owner's husband does really well.
Okay.
And so she doesn't feel too starstruck by how rich Tina is. Her husband, let's call him Nick, he was rich, obviously not as rich as Tina rich, but enough. Nancy never had to worry about her finances. And one day when Tina came to the salon, her husband Nick was there. And Nancy introduced the two, and Nick is like, you know what? I mean, of course, I'm married to Nancy and I love her to pieces, but I have a little brother, Tina, about your age. His name is, we're gonna call him Tim. His name is Tim. And I think it'd be perfect if you guys met. So Tina and Tim, they met each other through Nancy and her husband, and they hit it off. Pretty soon, Nancy's hearing about just how rich Tina was. She was spending so much money on Tim. Within the first couple of months of dating, she spent, I think, in two months, like $10,000 on the guy.
Wow.
Which is, that's like $5,000 a month. That's a whole...
Yeah, and then plus in Asia, that's even way more than spending that because the cost of living.
Yeah.
You know? I just don't understand these people. There's gonna be an end.
And doesn't it give you anxiety?
Exactly. Because you are living in the future, right? You're constantly fearful of future. So that's why you have anxiety. You're thinking about scenarios.
Yeah.
I guess she's like opposite of you. That part of her brain is shut down. She doesn't think about the future.
And again, I'm not saying all sociopaths are bad. They're not. But a lot of the time, sociopaths happen to be criminals because they don't have an ability to think in the future. It's just not in them. It's not like, why can't you think for the future? It's not like that. They literally cannot think of the future.
Yeah. And I wish you can shut off your brain for the future.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
So
she's spoiling Tim and throwing around money like it's paper. And of course the guy is like, I really like her. I'm head over heels for Tina. And I'm sure her money did not hurt. But there was also this energy around Tina, and I don't even want to deny that from her. She had this old money energy. She had this aura around her. She seemed untouchable. The way that she carried herself, I think people call it like dark feminine energy these days. She would be poised and very elegant and smiling, but it's almost like she's mysterious almost. It's like what I want to be after I watch a movie or read a book. I'm like, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be mysterious. And then the next day, I'm like,
oh my God, honey. So I went upstairs and I was blowing my nose.
that's not mysterious. That's not mysterious. She just feels kind of mysterious. You get the impression that she's almost bored by everyone around her. It's that old money vibe. I mean, because she's not impressed by you, it makes you want to impress her even more. You just want to be around her, especially guys. But it's too late. Because in 2018, Tina and Tim, they decide to tie the knot. They're getting married. And I don't know if they were inspired by Meghan and Harry's wedding that happened that year, but they decided love is about flaunting wealth completely, utterly. That's all it should be. No expenses should be spared. It was giving eat the rich, but also I kind of want to go to the wedding because it looks like they'll have really good food and it'll be fun. And like the wedding is when things start getting funky fresh. The first thing was that just the sheer amount of money that was being thrown around, the Rolls Royce was being used as a dowry and it was parked right outside the hotel with flowers on top. I mean, you couldn't miss it even if you tried. There were hundreds of guests on both sides of the family. Everyone would walk in after looking at that Rolls Royce and they'd be like, why is that Rolls Royce there? Oh, it's the dowry.
wait, dowry from
Tina's dad to the husband. $500,000. Everyone had a great time. A few people had a weird suspicion that they couldn't really put their finger on. And this is Stephanie theory time. I think a lot of the times people get away with pretending to be rich, like Anna Delvey and all these people. I mean, in our heads, we're like, how does that even happen? How do you not realize that they're not rich, right? But there is a weird stereotype of rich people being eccentric, strange, not all there in the head. So of course, when a con artist is not all there in the head or something's not adding up, we just all chalk it up to rich people being eccentric, rich people being weird. And it's kind of fascinating. And I think that's what happened with this wedding. People were noticing that Tina's parents were kind of spacing out, not answering questions, but maybe that's how rich people are. They don't have time to mingle with the peasants. So a few days after the wedding, it's Lunar New Year. Huge deal, especially for newlywed couples. This is Tina and Tim's first New Year together. Tina and a couple of her family members, dad, younger brother, uncle, they come to Tim's house so that they can all celebrate the two families. Nancy was there since she's now Tina's sister-in-law, and she thought Tina's dad was such a nice guy. While they were having dinner, Tina's dad told Nancy's family, hey, I've got a bunch of plane tickets that I bought for a trip that got canceled. I have about 500 business class tickets. I don't need them anymore. If you guys want them, I can sell them to you for half the price.
like what? Okay.
Nancy and her family were kind of impressed, but also equally confused because he's clearly rich. I mean, who the hell has 500 business class tickets just hanging around? And he could basically afford to give them away for half the price. But also, it's kind of weird.
To wear though.
Yeah, to wear. And like, I don't know. It's just really weird.
Like, if you sell me a ticket to somewhere I don't want to go, it doesn't matter how much it costs. I don't need it, bro.
Yeah. They thought it was kind of cool though. I mean, I don't know if they took him up on it. I don't know if there were like vouchers for business class tickets or there was a destination that was set in place, but it was just odd. And that was just the start of his business proposals. A few weeks later, Tina comes over and tells Nancy that she was helping her dad sell real estate. He had a property in this like upscale area where owning a house is automatically a good investment. And since the home values are always climbing, Tina was like, my dad can get you a deal. The house is like $21,000, but I can get it for $6,400. That's like a 70% discount.
Damn.
70% discount on a house. Nancy was not interested, but a few of her relatives were like, you know what? Now's the time. If we're ever gonna buy real estate, it's now. So they pool their money together. They even asked to borrow some of Nancy's money to buy the house from Tina and her dad. And this starts becoming a regular thing. This was officially becoming, like, Tina was opening a real estate business at this point. She transformed her apartment into a real estate office. She even had 2 saleswomen from a real estate place helping her out. Often, the woman would contact Nancy and her family and let them know when the house was available for purchase. And most of the time, the homes were being offered for way below market value. Okay, one time it happens, it feels like a familial gesture of kindness. A second time it happens, I don't know. I feel like I would start to feel a burden. Like, you've done so much for me, now I feel like I owe you. The third time, it's like, come on now. Nancy felt like it was getting all a little strange. How could they keep selling these homes for so cheap? It didn't sit well with her. She always believed when something is too good to be true, it's usually too good to be true. But anytime that she had these thoughts, she would basically talk herself out of it, thinking, you know what? But the transaction seems so legit. You know, my relatives that are buying the houses, they're all getting notarized papers. They're getting the right documents. The papers are coming in on time. And Nancy thought, maybe this is how the rich stay rich. Like, maybe that's the perk of having rich in-laws. Everyone around you gets rich. Then one day, Tina calls Nancy, and she's like, hey, can I borrow $4,000? I'm at the hospital, and it's an emergency.
Oh, no.
$4,000? You can't pay for it? I'm so confused. Of course I can pay for it. Of course I can, Nancy. But my money's in a safe at my house, and I don't have time to go get it because I'm in the ER. So can you loan me $4,000? At this point, Nancy, she can't ignore her suspicions anymore. There is no way someone as rich as Tina was claiming that she needed to borrow money from a local beauty salon owner because of an emergency. And speaking of the beauty salon, Nancy finds out around this time that Tina wasn't just a regular. She was regularly borrowing money from Nancy's staff members.
What?
Apparently, at the end of an appointment, Tina would turn to the hairdresser or the nail technician and say, I just realized I forgot my wallet. Can you put this on your tab and I'll pay you back next week? Oh, and give yourself a tip. My treat. And this didn't just happen once or twice.
Tip yourself.
Yes,
Please.
it happened every single time. So all those times when Tina left fat tips that were like 5 times the amount of the original thing, they were all just tipping themselves in the belief, that Nancy would pay them back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, basically they were all tipping themselves. And like, yes, it took them a while to figure it out, but I think it again had to do with the fact that Tina was really good at manipulating these people. It was just insane. The way that she just had this, it's like the same situation with Anna. Like the same situation. You have this confidence, this sheer arrogance, and people are gonna be inclined to believe you. I think that's the craziest thing. It's like liars have so much arrogance that it's almost terrifying when you really think about it.
Yeah.
So Nancy's own husband, Nick, was regularly loaning Tina money. Insane. Nancy finds out that Tim, Tina's husband, was also loaning Tina money. I mean, they were basically her walking ATMs. Tina had borrowed close to $300,000 from them. This whole situation was starting to smell really, really fishy. Nancy asked a confidant if they could investigate Tina's bank records and her personal information, and that's when the truth starts flooding out. Nancy was flabbergasted. Not only was Tina not rich, she was actually broke. Her father wasn't rich. He was a rural migrant worker who was hooked on drugs. He was now in a rehab center. And that leads to a bigger question. If her dad is locked up, who the hell is the guy who sold Nancy's family the plane tickets and all those real estate properties and the guy that showed up in a Rolls Royce to the wedding? Who the is he? On top of that, Tina's not even her real name. Her real name is Nin. So what's going on? Nancy thought her real name was Tina. Tina made it seem like that was her legal name, but it wasn't. Nothing that Nancy knew or thought she knew about Tina was real. So let's talk about who Tina really was. She was born in 1995 in this very rural, remote province in northeastern Vietnam. She never even really knew her dad since he had walked out on the family when she was very young. Tina grew up with her mom and her 2 younger brothers in this single-story brick home, which I don't think anything's wrong with that. It's just very different from the story that Tina was selling to everyone. Growing up, Tina's mom would work overtime at a local restaurant trying to make ends meet. It was a really rough childhood. It got so rough that Tina just did not respond well to her environment. She would often run away from home. Her family would usually find her alone in like an abandoned house or a temple, just trying to find shelter. I think her mom didn't know how to help her. So Tina drops out of school at 14 and she starts working. We don't know. We don't know what kind of job she's working, but it is believed that around this time she starts cultivating, she starts creating her Tina personality, her Tina alter ego. And through her work, she comes in contact with a lot of wealthy, influential people. Maybe she's in hospitality, maybe she's in retail, but she starts noticing patterns. The way they talk, arrogant. The way that just the energy about them, it's like you don't even exist. The way that they dress, the way that they carry themselves. She realized that all wealthy people had a few things in common, and it was pretty easy to pretend to be one of them. Just pretty easy. But she just had to look the part, which that too was pretty easy. The designer clothes that she first started wearing were all counterfeit. The luxury cars were rentals. Sometimes if Tina wanted to make the act extra convincing, she would shell out a few $100 a day for a personal driver, which just added to this whole illusion that she was creating. Her whole life and scam depended on the idea that if you look rich, people will believe that you're rich, and rich people will want to hang out with rich people.
And then what? So you can borrow money from them?
Yes! Have investment ideas with them. And once she fooled the initial group of people, she actually started becoming rich because she was scamming them out of their money. So she pretended to be rich, she got money and became somewhat rich and then blew it all, and then it was a cycle that would have to start all over again. She was beautiful, so she attracted a lot of rich boyfriends who would just fuel her spending habits. They would buy her brand name clothes, not the counterfeit stuff, designer clothes, designer bags, and they would just start spending, and when they start spending less and less on her, she would dump them. She would scam them one last time typically. She'd be like, babe, I have an investment idea. And then she'd take all your money and run. She would dump them and then reach out to wealthy men on social media to see if they were interested in meeting her. And she played mind games. She knew that rich men were no strangers to having women being only attracted to them for their money. So Tina would go in and she would purchase them big gifts in the beginning. Before they even bought her a single thing, she would shower them with gifts. And I think that made them feel at ease, that she was independently wealthy, that she didn't need them. So they felt comfortable buying her extravagant gifts in return.
Or sometimes because she has money, then you have to buy more expensive things to wow her.
Yes, And you feel like, oh, this isn't good enough because all she wears is Gucci Prada. Like, I gotta get her a Bugatti. I don't know, because there's a picture of her wearing a Richard Mille watch, which is insane. Like, the cheapest Richard Mille for a woman goes for, I think, a ladies piece, goes for like, I think $100,000.
Yeah.
They won't even sell it to you in store. You have to buy it resale. It's insane. So I don't know if this one's real or not. And it wasn't just about the material gifts. Eventually, Tina, again, would con you into investing money with her. But then she would take your funds, disappear from your life. Then in 2018, she meets Tim, Nancy's brother-in-law. And she decides he's one of the bigger fish. So she's like, I'm gonna marry the guy. When they were planning the wedding, Tina originally planned to only invite a handful of friends to the wedding. But then Tim is like, yeah, I'm gonna have like 500 people on my side. What about you? Oh, like 300. We were just having this conversation. Do you guys think this is true? Do you think it's weird if one side of the couple has 1 million people come and then the other side has like 5 people come?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. What do you think? Did you ask your parents?
Yeah.
What did they say?
So we were doing the dinner after our wedding, after our destination wedding that I specifically wanted to have so that nobody would come to our wedding. But now we are being forced to have a dinner in Atlanta to invite everyone that I didn't originally want to come to our wedding. Just backfired.
And these people were like 95% of people we don't even know.
We don't even know.
Who
they
are
don't
you?
even know us, I don't think. Okay. Like nobody I know. It's not like aunts. It's like, you're who? Oh.
And they're going to be like, I held you when you were a baby and you pee in my arm.
And then you're going to be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Is that what you want me to say? Yeah, his family are bringing 100 people. I told my mom this morning, I'm like, yeah, they're going to have 100 people. And I don't know, something sparked inside of her.
She's like,
My side's 200. She's like, make it 300 total.
Really?
No, but something did spark because she's on the phone with my dad and she's like, we can't just invite 20 people. We're going to look so dumb. I'm like, yes, you can. It doesn't matter. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So Tina is like, now I can't just invite 1 or 2 people. I need to have hundreds of people at this wedding. She realized that she couldn't invite any of her actual family members, which, you know, she didn't even talk to them. She had cut off her mom and her brothers a long time ago. They had no idea where she was or what she was doing or whose life she was even pretending to live. She couldn't risk them exposing her lies. She couldn't risk them for saying too much at the wedding. She needed family members that she could control, and those don't exist. So she got paid actors. Tina hired over 300 actors to play family members and family friends at the wedding. Her father, the man who sold Nancy's family 500 plane tickets, the man who sold Nancy's family real estate through Tina, the man who came to Nancy's house, who ate with them, who sang karaoke with them, who drove up in the skirt Rolls Royce, who walked Tina down the freaking aisle at the wedding, was a D-list actor.
Wow.
Bro, D-list actor, okay? The first time he met Tina was when she hired him to meet Nancy's family before the wedding. Then for the wedding and after the wedding, every time Tina needed her dad to be around, she would call up the same actor. At this rate, her fake dad is in her life more than my real dad is in my life. The woman who played Tina's mom at the wedding, the guy who played her younger brother, the people who played her grandparents, all of them were actors. Now here is the insane part, and I don't know why she didn't think of this when she had put thought into everything else. None of them knew that the other people were also actors. So the uncle's showing up like, oh, that's so weird. I don't know why she really needs an uncle at this wedding. So, these are her real parents. I gotta try to sit down. The uncle.
The energy must be very funny.
Yeah, their energy was bizarre. The actor that played Tina's dad, for example, he was under the impression that Tina's mom was the real Tina's mom. Tina's mom, the actress, was under the impression that Tina's dad was really Tina's dad. And Tina hired them all from the same company, so I don't know how they didn't know each other. It's a company called Vina Most who confirmed that Tina had solicited their services for her wedding. I mean, I guess they have like an insane customer confidentiality policy. I don't know what it was. And in the same way she did with the actor who played her dad, Tina would call up the other actors whenever she needed her uncle around. They would reprise their roles as family members during family functions and stuff.
How much would the cost be to hire 300 actors?
For the wedding, I think it was close to $17,000.
Wow.
300.
Wow.
Even the 2 real estate agents that were supposedly helping Tina sell properties at discounted prices, they weren't even real estate agents. They were local students that Tina had hired to pretend to be real estate agents.
So they ain't selling
No.
They're selling piece of paper.
Yeah, pieces of paper
Wow.
with fake notaries. A few years later, the actor who played Tina's dad made a public statement. I haven't spoken to the bride since the wedding, so I'm not participating in these scams. The fees for playing the dad at the wedding was barely enough for gas. Which, interesting. Anyway, after this came out, Nancy starts digging into Tina's background. And she was understandably furious, especially when she remembered how Tina was constantly asking Nancy's family for loans. Turns out Tina had borrowed like $723,000 from Nancy's family.
What?
So Nancy was...
USD?
Yeah, she was fuming. She was pissed.
Holy.
She dragged Tina into a room once she knew the truth, and she starts slapping Tina and demanding that Tina give back all the money that she took. They weren't even light slaps. It was like, you're a liar, you're a fraud, just slapping her back and forth. And Tina's breaking down sobbing, like, please don't hurt me, I'm pregnant. Please, like, I can't pay you back right now, but I promise I'll work and I'll pay you back and I'm gonna give you all your money, please.
Is she pregnant?
Oh, no. I mean, we don't know if she was, but she never... Yeah, there wasn't evidence that she was. Like, I don't think there were doctor's appointments or evidence that she didn't carry to term. Not that there needs to be, but you get it with her track record. It's really hard. So Nancy felt bad for Tina. She did. I mean, she's sobbing. So she's like, okay, well, fine. You can pay me back. She picks up Tina's phone, and she sees that the phone is full of debt collector messages. Nancy starts kind of feeling bad. She realized Tina would never be able to pay back Nancy's family, even if she wanted to. Of course, the family thought about getting the police involved, but they just didn't want to take Tina to court. Not because they were protecting Tina, but it would just cause a public scandal, and Nancy's family just did not want that kind of attention. So they decide to take Tina at her word. Obviously, Tina's husband Tim divorced her, but they didn't sue her. Instead, they let her go, and they decided, we're going to wait for this money to get back to us. Hopefully one day, Tina's going to mail us a fat check. Hopefully she really does feel sorry.
Just like that?
Yeah, but we know the Anna Delvey story.
Yeah, they don't
So,
stop.
We're gonna know the Tina story. Weeks pass, then months, then years. Nancy's family never heard from Tina. And then in the fall of 2022, Nancy made a post on Facebook and she was pissed. She said, it's been 3 years. I thought Tina was changing, but until yesterday, I found out that she was still the same, continued to scam other people in other cities. I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars that have been scammed. So what happened during those 3 years? After Tina divorced Tim, she moved to a new town to get a fresh start. She works on rebuilding her brand, aka her fake wealthy persona, but she's still calling herself Tina. March 2021, she meets her next husband. His name is redacted for privacy reasons, so we're gonna call him Jake. Tina and Jake, they date for a short period of time, and then she's like, guess what, Jake? I'm pregnant. She wasn't, or at least again, she never carried out a pregnancy. But Jake believed her, and he thought, well, we need to get married. I need to do the right thing. We need to raise this family together. We don't know how old Jake is, but looking at the pictures, he looks like maybe early 30s, very young. Tina's about like 30 at this point.
And he's wealthy, I'm assuming, right?
Not that wealthy.
Oh.
Because the two get married, and this is like no extravagant wedding this time. It seems to be a really intimate ceremony in the middle of the woods. It's beautiful. It looks like, according to the wedding photos, it's beautiful. It's pretty. It's also giving cult. It's giving the guests are doing shrooms afterwards, but like in the best way possible. Like Pinterest. Yeah, it's Pinterest. She wore cowboy boots to her wedding. It was intimate. It's just, oh my God, it's like everything I want my wedding to be. Okay. There were only like a couple of dozen guests in the groom's side and only one guest on Tina's side. Her mom.
Actual mom?
No, it was another actress.
You kidding me?
Yeah. So Tina's life is so filled with drama. I would gladly pretend to be her mother, like no payment necessary. I just want to be a part of the drama. I just want to see what's going on. So just a few weeks after this romantic fairy tale wedding, Tina steals about $5,000 from her new husband and she leaves him. There was nothing Jake or the family could do because Tina and Jake had this wedding ceremony and they were thinking about getting the paperwork afterwards. But she skedaddled out of there with his money before they got their wedding papers officiated. So they never had a legal marriage. Jake and his family were devastated, more just by the betrayal than the money itself. They just wanted to move on, so they did not press charges. And Tina would get away once again, and then she would do it again. Around 15 victims in total would come forward, all with similar stories.
Wow.
It's alleged that Tina stole millions of dollars in total from her victims. And that's just the ones that came forward. I mean, there's speculation that a lot of people did not want to come forward. One of Tina's latest victims is a 38-year-old. We're going to call him Patrick. He met Tina in February of 2022. He was on a business trip. So Tina's MO had evolved a bit. She's a little bit more sophisticated now. She wasn't the daughter of one of Vietnam's richest men anymore. Not that she ever was, but that story was overdone. This time, Tina told Patrick that her dad was a senior intelligence officer for the government, and she claimed that she was helping her dad organize some sort of top secret meeting filled with political powers, espionage, and conversations about world domination. Patrick was like, I mean, that makes sense. He never doubted the story. He never doubted the legitimacy of her, her life, which I find bizarre, because I feel like people who are actually related to intelligence officers wouldn't tell you that they're related to intelligence officers, right? Because I don't know, it just doesn't sound very intelligent.
Like, ma'am, this is a McDonald's drive-thru. Don't tell me that your dad is CIA operative right now.
But Patrick had no reason to not trust Tina, especially because Tina's dad starts texting Patrick. Patrick never considered that the person that he was texting was Tina. Using a fake account. But even if he doubted her at that point, he completely stopped doubting her after he met Tina's dad. You guessed it. Not the same one.
Another one.
Yeah, he's retired. Another one. Another paid actor. Rolls-Royce daddy is out. Government daddy is in. After gaining Patrick's trust, Tina's dad, aka Tina from a fake account, tells Patrick, like typing, "Oh no, my top secret meeting fell through. Can I borrow $17,000 to cancel it? Otherwise they're gonna kill me." I'm so confused about this. If you think it's bad that Patrick gave Tina $17,000 to cancel an imaginary event, it gets worse because Patrick ended up giving Tina close to $64,000 by the time that she ghosted him. What's crazy to me is there came a point where Tina said she genuinely fell in love. The con artist had met her match.
Who?
One last time in the name of love. It's so yummy. And I kind of feel like it was love because this guy didn't have any money for Tina to scam. His name is Kaleem, and he's a coffee shop owner, and he met Tina on Facebook in July of 2022, so pretty recent. They didn't immediately start talking, but Tina was kind of drawn to the types of posts that he made on Facebook. He was living a genuine carefree life. He wasn't pretending to be someone that he wasn't, and maybe Tina realized that she wanted that life all along. True love, comfort, safety. So what does she do? She gets his attention, and then she tells him that she has a brain tumor.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna get there. So they start texting on Facebook, and I'm not sure. I think this one she said that her dad was a government spy. I'm pretty sure that it was the government spy story on this one, which if you think about it, it's kind of sad. So Tina basically is stating that she said this to get him interested in her. I think she's really battling some insecurities up here. They meet face to face for the first time, and Kaleem is like, wow. She's so pretty. He says she was a girl with really cute, flashy look and a kind voice. I mean, she appeared to be very understanding and genuine. They started meeting twice a week for coffee. Gradually, they fell out of these coffee dates and they started meeting each other outside. And even though Tina would say that she was genuinely in love with Kaleem, she couldn't stop herself from lying to him more. She told him that her dad was a Canadian government official. She showed Kaleem a bougie high-end apartment in a really nice area of town and said that she owned the apartment, but most likely she was just renting it for show. Kaleem had no reason not to believe her, at least for 2 weeks. And then her stories got really bizarre, really fast. Out of the blue, she told Kaleem, I have a brain tumor. The doctor said I don't have much time left. Kaleem did not even have enough time to process this information before Tina added that she was in a different kind of danger. My dad is a government official from Canada, and I am constantly under threat of being kidnapped, either for ransom or for leverage against my government super secret spy dad. So, can I stay at your place? Kaleem was like, absolutely. Let me save you, which I think just proves my damsel in distress theory. Hey, do you believe in the damsel in distress theory?
What is that?
Where like a lot of straight men just can't help a girl who's in distress.
Yeah.
You just want to save a hoe?
Isn't that similar to like a hero
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
You want to just be the hero?
Yeah. Do you have that? Because I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. Actually.
No, actually, I don't have that.
I'm in so much pain. And you know what? Then less than 2 weeks after, she's like, I'm going to sleep over. I got to sleep over at your house. Kaleem's like, okay. But what does she do? She doesn't leave for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, he's footing the bill, buying groceries, doing everything. I mean, they barely know each other. But she seemed desperate. She genuinely thought she was going to get kidnapped by enemy political powers, and he genuinely believed that her safety was being threatened, so he stuck with it. And, you know, she was nice. She would constantly ask about his finances and his assets, and it seemed like she was really interested in his whole financial status. He got the impression, though, that it wasn't creepy because she's rich. When rich people do it, it's like they want to give you advice. I was like, they're eccentric. Money's not taboo to rich people. But when not rich people do it, it's like, are you trying to scam me? What's going on? That's really a double standard. We got to work on that, guys. So he said she used to say that she had about like $500,000. After that, she kept telling Kaleem that he had a mental illness.
Oh.
And then, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that, but it was just the, oh. She would bring medicine and said that it was like a brain tonic. He needed to drink it to let whatever mental illness he had in his brain out of his brain, because that makes sense. And he said that he didn't take it because he didn't know what medicine it was, and she would just get really upset about it.
Do we know what it is?
No. And then one day, Kaleem comes home from work, and she just wasn't there. She wasn't answering her phone, no text messages. She was gone. For weeks on end, Kaleem had absolutely no idea what happened to her. Did she ghost him? Did a horrible accident happen? Should he call the cops? But are the cops in on it? He didn't know. So just as suddenly as she disappeared, she's like, hello. Pops back up on his doorstep one day. She told him, I'd been kidnapped. In reality, she was probably spending time with a different boyfriend that she was scamming, but she told him that she was kidnapped. And for the first time in their 1 month long relationship, Kaleem was like, wait, I don't think I believe you. It's not making sense. The math's not mathing. For a rich heiress, you never seem to have money on you. Instead, I'm the one funding all your shopping sprees. I think in the month that I've known you, I've spent like $4,000 on you, not including the rent and utilities and the food that I covered for the 2 weeks that you were living with me. So he sat her down and he's like, we need to have the talk. We're breaking up. And she was like, no, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to have kids with you. He wasn't falling for it. He said, just get out of here. I'm not doing it, right? He breaks up with her and she did not take it well. For weeks, she bombarded him with texts, phone calls. She was threatening to unalive herself. She posted on Facebook nonstop. She announced her undying love to the world in a series of Facebook posts. And it roughly translates to, I want to tell this whole world that I love you. Kaleem is the last person this Tina loves. I just want you to know that I'm good, I'm perfect, I'm rich, I'm constantly creating all sorts of covers while living with you. Only my love is real. Which is kind of cryptic. Is she saying nothing is real but her love for him? Kaleem did not forgive Tina. Instead, he felt sympathetic towards her other victims. He actually founded the Tina Victims Alliance.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's the Tina Victims Alliance to help the men who are suffering emotionally after being scammed by Tina.
Wait, so right after this, he feels like she scammed him.
Yeah.
And he formed the alliance
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
I didn't
Yes.
know he fully realized Tina was a scam
Oh,
artist.
in a month. Yeah, that's
So he
pretty quick.
did realize Tina was a full-on scam artist.
Yeah. I guess he woke up really quick to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he realized that.
Yeah.
I thought he was just breaking up with a girlfriend.
No, I think he realized, yeah. Because I think her whole spiel of being gone and then saying I was kidnapped was just bizarre. I think that's like, okay, now you're doing it too much. He did say, I can easily empathize with other men's feelings of being duped by love. They will be in a condition that is worse than death. So, I don't know. Just,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, he said, I feel that love fraud is worse than killing the victims. Okay. I was rooting for you, Kaleem. Let's tone it down a little. So for most of these men, they said that it wasn't about losing their money. It was about being deceived by a person that they thought that they could trust, only to have her scam them and then ghost them. I get that. Like, that's crazy, right? Many of Tina's victims, we know that there were potentially 15, potentially more. They suffered from depression after Tina used them. And I don't know if this is true because I couldn't find it in a lot of sources. I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know if it's true. If you guys are Vietnamese, please let me know. But there is a speculation that one of these men committed suicide. And I don't know if that's the loss of love or the loss of their financial state. I couldn't find more information, so please let me know because I don't know if that's an internet rumor. Tina was finally arrested in October of 2022, and the reason for her arrest warrant is really random. Like, you would think that one of her victims reported her to the authorities, but no. What actually happened was Tina pulled the classic, selling a rented car scam. You know the one. You rent a car from Enterprise, and then you drive it to the other side of the country, and you try to sell the car. She sold a car for $20,000 profit. And then she was arrested.
What?
So as of now, it's unclear what kind of charges Tina will be facing, if she's going to be facing fraud charges in the end or not. But she was released on bail. She is awaiting updates on her legal situation, or at least we are. I don't know if she got updates. I tried looking online to find the penalty for theft in Vietnam, but it's really complicated because, like a lot of countries, it's about the amount of money that you scammed and the argument of what was a gift while you're dating, what wasn't. It's kind of confusing. Or what was like a bad investment. Some people speculate that she scammed like millions of dollars out of people. But so far, we don't have any updates. I'm just saying, she needs to serve every second of all the time that she needs to serve for what she did. But it'll just be interesting when she gets out. Like, it's interesting now that Anna Delvey's out.
Oh yeah, what's going on? She's out.
Yeah, she's out and
She's back to her. She's a celebrity now.
Yeah, she's a celebrity. And her apartment is very interesting. She has like an apartment tour, and I just saw that she keeps a painting underneath. I believe it's the microwave because she doesn't have gallery lights, but the microwave light, you turn it on and it shines on her piece of painting under her microwave.
This is a sculpture. I thought that would be the perfect place because the microwave, you can switch the light. I love it's like a little gallery.
What? So her whole scam paid off
Yeah, it really did.
because there's a documentary on Netflix and
Yeah.
oh, this is kind of messed up.
I know, there's a conversation about it too.
But like how this is messed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the argument. Some people said, well, she did her time. So it's like the argument of should a felon or a previous convict not have the ability to financially support themselves because they've been in prison and they committed crimes? And then there's the argument of like, well, she shouldn't be famous. But then you know what?
But I guess it also has to do with what type of crime, I guess.
Yeah.
Like maybe people can forgive her crime,
Yes.
but there are killers and rapists and all those people, like, doesn't matter how many documentaries are made.
Yeah.
I don't think people can
Forgive them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do think it's if someone gets famous, you can't really yell at them for getting famous when it took a lot of people to get them famous.
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
took a
yeah.
lot of eyeballs to get them
Yeah.
famous. I don't know, so it's interesting.
Yeah. She's just scammed like hotels, right? Hotels
No, she scammed a
Guys?
lot of individuals as well. Friends, hotels. That's the story we had today. I don't know. Can you imagine her and Anna Delvey like starting a podcast together? I don't know.
Oh my god, it feels like it might be like
It might happen.
it might be like the top podcast.
It might be. It might be like a Spotify exclusive pod.
Yeah.
It literally might be.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it would be. And then I would sit there and I would, in my brain, I'm like, that's completely normal. Nothing to see here. That would be bad because they're criminals. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry I couldn't eat as much or enjoy my food as much and I was taking so long to eat because I'm so scared of dry socket. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out Raycon, linked in the description, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.